So, my friends, welcome to a new presale update video about the best crypto token, or rather the best wallet, which continues to grow very, very strongly. So when I see the level of interest in how it's being offered more and more, I really like the way they're handling things at the moment. Unfortunately, the new crypto card still isn't available. Unfortunately, I have to say, because otherwise I would have loved to test it already. But overall, like I said, the presale is still ongoing, so I wanted to give you another update. But I think it should be over in the next, I think in the next few days it should be finished. That's why I wanted to put out a quick update here. We've now raised $13 million here. Do you really need this presale? Yeah, that's the question. In the end, not really. I think it's more about the fact that you get certain benefits if you might want this card later on. Let's take a look at the whole thing on Twitter. There was also an airdrop, which I mentioned to you in the last video, and you can still take part in it now. And what I currently find interesting about Best Wallet is that you can now actually buy all the presale tokens, either directly or indirectly, right in the apps. I really like that there are now, I think, several swipe windows where you can buy these tokens right away. And an interesting new aspect, need to find your base chain wallet address. In today's quick video, we will show you exactly how to locate it inside Best Wallet step by step, useful for receiving base assets, viewing your wallet on chain, and getting support faster. It's pretty nice because this base chain keeps growing more and more. That's also an interesting point. So feel free to follow them on Twitter, because that's where you'll get the latest updates and any new information, etc. I have to say, I'm really satisfied with this wallet. Like I said, I used it back then, or actually, I still use it for MegaNet, which I told you about before, where you can basically share your bandwidth. What I really like about this thing is that it's super easy to use. Of course, it's just a wallet, but you know I'm always a fan of simplicity. That doesn't mean you have to join the presale, because like I said, probably very few people will actually do that, but in my opinion, the wallet itself is really good. And I'm still waiting for phase 3 here, like I said, because I think that's going to be really interesting for everyone interested in crypto, and especially for people who are excited to try out another crypto card, since that's when the best card will finally be introduced. I think, if I'm not mistaken, with the best wallet you earn best tokens, and the best airdrop campaign. That campaign is already run, it should be finished by now, and so the card should finally be coming soon too. I'm curious to see how they'll do it, or rather, which provider they'll use and especially what the fees will be, because that's another important point. Fees are really the only thing you can still compare with all these crypto cards nowadays, and if they manage to offer a card here that's genuinely cheap, with consistently low costs, even for things like withdrawing cash, making payments, and so on, this could really become an app with a promising future. And I think that's more what it's about, these exchange tokens that we now see appearing on some exchanges. Of course, we know the BNB token, which is skyrocketing because it's actually being used. What else do we have? I think there was a big hit token that shot up in value, and that could also be the case here with Best Wallet, that you're investing a bit in the future and hoping for the same outcome. That means, if the card takes off, thanks to marketing and so on, the token could become attractive again, and that's ultimately what the presale is for. I'm curious to see what happens. As I said, if there's any more information or as soon as the info comes out and you can get the card, I'll definitely let you know instantly in the Telegram group or somewhere else. Just check all my social media channels or look in the video description below. Otherwise, as I said, the presale is still ongoing. If you want to take part, I'll also put the link down in the video description for you. I just assume the idea is for more long-term things, simply with the card, with the exchange continuing to be expanded, DEX, CEX, and so on, all sorts of things. Almost everything is already multi-chain, so it's constantly being updated, and more is coming. The plan is to support over 60 chains. I think right now it's 10 or 15, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. That's important, and once that phase is completed, then the big phase 3 will come. NFT gallery with, a future, in my opinion, sooner or later. At some point, it will find its use. Premium hub, in-app crypto news feed, which I also think is great. So then, you might have an all-in-one crypto app, maybe. Not just a regular CEXDEX, but also with news, something like what I did with BingX now, with BingX.AI Live and stuff like that. I think it's pretty good that things like that are just being added in, and at some point, in phase 4, you'll also be able to trade. So, they really are putting some thought into this. I'm curious, as I said, to see how it will work in the future. I'm definitely interested to see that. But otherwise, yeah, as I said, it will probably also be useful to have these tokens for the wallet or for the card. That's also why there's a pre-sale. Get cash back on every purchase with your Best card and benefit from reduced transaction fees when you hold or stake Best Wallet tokens. Use the card worldwide anywhere MasterCard is accepted. Those are the main points. That's also why there's a pre-sale. As I said, if you still want to get in, now is probably the time, before the pre-sale ends, because after that the prices will probably go up. Otherwise, that's it from my side. I'd love to hear your opinion in the comments below. Have you already downloaded the wallet? Are you actively using it? Are you looking forward to the card? Do you already have a crypto card yourself? If so, which one? Feel free to write it in the comments below, and otherwise, I'd say that's it from my side. I wish you a great day. Take care. Until then, bye-bye, and as always, stay crypto.